Bring your feet under your hip sockets and see if you can remember what we did in June, which had to do, and Herbert already mentioned it, that feeling of being centered on your feet. So when the world is overwhelming, when everything around us is overwhelming, finding our feet on the floor. Joe was talking about this too, and remembering that we can be grounded and get strength from the ground that supports us is crucial. So remembering feet under hip sockets, it's like a line that comes from the middle of your hip joint here, down over your middle toe and down over your second toe. And feet are more or less parallel. This looks all good. And then let your arms drop by your sides and feel your weight evenly on your tripod points. So that one point is on the ball of your foot behind your big toe, one point's on the ball of your foot behind your fourth toe, and one is in the middle of your heel, right? So these tripods going down into the earth that sort of root you in the earth. So try just going forward onto your toes a little bit. Feel what that feels like. Now maybe this is where you often live. You know, do you live up on your toes? Feel yourself going back onto your heels. Maybe this is where you live, back on your heels, right? Now see what it feels like to come right to the center between front and back. Really centered. How often do we really live in the center? And then what does it feel like to put more weight on the one side, right? And then more weight on the other side. And now this might be familiar, this is where I live. Weight is on one side or the other. But what does it mean to feel that you come right to the middle, to the center? So much power that comes from being in the center. What this is coming into the moment and offering ourselves so that the word can come through us, so that the word can be made flesh through us. And this exercise I taught you in the summer is a way of feeling how we can arrive in this space. It's a very simple exercise. So all it is you think into your elbow points, you let them rotate forward. You let them float up effortlessly as though little balloons were attached to them, up to shoulder height. Then you think into the backs of your wrists, let them float up until your arms are straight. And then think into your fingertips and let them float up until you finally are stretching all the way up to the ceiling. You're suspended between heaven and earth. You've got some divine force pulling you up by your fingertips while at the same time your feet are planted and you're rooted. And then you just let your hands go, just your hands. And you feel how there is relaxation in your hands and tension in the rest of your body, your whole body stretching up except for your hands. Now let your forearms go till they relax from your elbows and register the contrasting sensation of relaxation and tension. This is important because being present is about feeling this core strength and also this ability to relax tension that gets in the way. Now let your arms drop to gravity and feel the pull of gravity on your arms. And that's the feeling of relaxation, which when you can be aware of it and transfer it to any parts of your body that are tensing up in the middle of preaching, that helps you to be present. Now let your head and neck drop forward and let the weight of your head draw you down through your spine, one vertebra at a time, dropping away to gravity. Like blocks on stacking, and then drop down to the floor until finally you're hanging head downward from your tailbone. Feet in a sigh to release your breath. Good, and then think into your tailbone and start to uncurl up through your spine. See if your spine alone can do this. So your belly muscle stays loose, knees are loose, head and neck are heavy. Really feeling how the spine can bring you up effortlessly with the least possible effort. You come up to standing, and finally your head and neck float up into alignment with your spine. And see if you've arrived in a different state at all. What has changed? Are you able to be a little bit more here in this room with us? And become aware of the breath. It drops in to a space behind your navel, and then it falls out immediately again. You can flop a hand on your belly to feel your breath. Tiny natural rhythm of the breath that goes on all the time. And if you can let your belly muscles relax, you can feel how the breath comes and goes. And it anchors us in the moment. We don't make it happen. We just let the muscles relax and let it establish itself. Let it tell us what it is.